reading or anything. Right. It's touching a weak stone, so that means locally this is a one-on-one battle where white gets the first move. So essentially it's going to be easier for white to settle himself. So this is maybe questionable. Kitani thought a better idea might be to play the peep and play like this. Then white won't have such an obvious answer for how to handle his stones. So, oh, I just realized I messed the tree up from earlier. So in this case, we'll actually see just how easily white manages these stones. This is pretty interesting as well. He's just, you know, getting as many forcing moves as he can, right, by touching strong stones. And so now he's got this group. It's not alive yet, but there's some co stuff that might happen there and some reading stuff going on. And so he makes some exchanges here that turn out to be pretty interesting as well. Black, of course, is not going to give that up. And he's not going to give this up either. So he responds to those. And now white continues over here. Actually, sorry, he does not play that yet. He plays here, threatening to come through. Black peeps in Sente and then fixes that problem. And now here, white is pretty much daring black to play the ko. Um, but black can't because of ko threats that white already set up. So black backs off. White gets to live pretty easily in this area. Give me 1 second. I'm going to be back in a second. Sorry about that. So let's take a look at maybe what black could have done instead. Like what would happen if black actually tried to do this sort of thing? This Atari, right? The one thing is there's a ko with the ko threats from earlier, right? The A is a very big ko threat. The other thing though is I think white can just connect here. This isn't shown in the book, but I think white's preparation over here actually allows him to connect. Let's say black plays here, white can Atari. Obviously, black's not going to give that up. Then white can ask if black's willing to give these two stones up, which I don't think he can either. Then he's got this, right? Threatening to capture the entire A group. And he's also got this. So essentially, black couldn't have played that way. White would be able to capture something. It's pretty cool reading that white did in that area. So back to the real game, Shuwa keeps helping this group here. He jumps out because he jumps ahead rather than pushing from behind because this shape is strong, right? And when you have strong shape, you normally don't want to play too close to it, and it also supports playing faster. Black keeps pressing. There's still possibilities against the A group, like forcing it to live in Gote. White cuts, black surrounds. Black gets to play Incente here, threatening the snapback. And now at this point, white is completely surrounded, right? And it would seem like he needs to live, but instead he plays a really strong sequence here. So let's see, what does this move mean? He's not living with his group, but what's happening here? Let me click black's move. If black tries to kill now, white is threatening this really, really big ko. And again, he still has threats from earlier. So the ko is kind of hard for black to play. And assuming black loses the ko, there can even be like this center, these center stones could potentially become in danger. So black can't really play that way. So black keeps playing in this area, and white plays double Hane, which keeps that same threat up, right? So if black tries to kill, this is still a ko. But now black has finally defended, and white has to live now. So he pulls back here, and he's got Miai for an eye in this area or an eye in that area. Black plays Atari. This move actually turned out not to be so good because black has a Tesuji combination that he can use in this sort of shape. Anyone have any ideas? What can black do to use the B stone rather than playing Atari at A? It's maybe a little advanced, but I don't think it's too hard to find. I'll give you a clue that there's a peep here. No ideas? D15? Yep. And now? Uh, Close. Any better? E14 might be possible. Just cut that stone off. Um, but what the commentary showed here was that black could just use this as a driving Tesuji. Just Atari, after making this exchange, AB exchange, now this Atari at C becomes better. And black can do this type of thing and ruin the left side, right? So Kitani's comment was that this Atari shows that perhaps Shusaku was still a little bit green, as this exchange is pretty good for white. So we played there, and remember that white can't cut at A, or black can't cut at A. He plays here, which is Sente. It forces white to connect, because now um, this stone is prepared to make that a capture, right? So that's why white connects. Black forces here. White has to answer, and then black just gets this one in Sente. Forces white to make the, the less profitable eye. Pushes again. Slides here. White gets one Atari in Sente, and then blocks. And this is as far as they recorded their game. Um, Believe it or not, White actually won this game by 12 points, which is a pretty big margin, especially, considering that he was giving a two-stone handicap. So in this game, Shuwa played really, really strong, um, and was able to win. Particularly the way he handled the weak groups. This one he handled very easily. This one on bottom seemed like it was in more danger, but he handled that really gracefully as well. And then after Shusaku attached here, he handled this group really easily also. So that's the game. And the next game in the book, which I'll probably be doing next Saturday or Sunday, is another handicap game against Shuwa. And we'll see if Shusaku can put up a better game. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for joining me.